Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today I would like to share the easiest way how to configure the third-party AI models inside Claude Code on your local machine. I'm using Mac for this purposes, but you can do the same on PC as well. I will do timestamps in my video, so if you are familiar with some steps already, then you can just skip to the appropriate sections. So first of all, why you would like to do it at all? Why you would like to use third-party AI models inside Claude Code? So some time ago, the raw underlying code for Claude Client was leaked accidentally by Anthropic employees, and it revealed that this client has 500,000 lines of code and 1,900 files. So basically, this client is not just a dumb client sending your prompts to the Anthropic servers and routing it. This client is actually also enhancing your prompts with some instructions, like instructions for IT infrastructure or software security and things like that. I will not go into depth here, but basically the quintessence of the whole thing is that the harness or the client that you're using for coding is as crucial as the model that you're using. And at the moment, the Claude Code harness is, I think, the best that you can use. That's why I wanted to use it with another AI providers. And I found this one tutorial here from Spideynolove on GitHub. And I think this is the best way how to configure it, and actually the easiest way. So I will share the link to this tutorial as well, but I actually enhanced these configurations, and I will share also the configurations that I am using. So first of all, what you need is Claude CLI, so Claude command line interface. Yeah. So basically, Claude not running in the Claude app that I have below here, but Claude that is actually running in the terminal. So you can just go to Google and say Claude CLI, and then it will give you the link to the quick start to Claude Code docs, or you can go to the Claude AI website. You click here on the left, get apps and extensions, then you just scroll down and you click on here terminal, install, and then it gives you the whole tutorial how to install it. Yeah, but basically, if you're on macOS or Linux or whatever, so I'm on macOS now on my Mac Studio, you just copy this one here, go to your terminal. So you can use your normal terminal from macOS, but I'm using actually the Tabby terminal. I think it's just cleaner, and you can have multiple tabs. So I have a new tab here, and first we will install Claude Code. So I have it already installed, so it will do it just another time, or once again, yeah, basically. Sorry, English is not my first language. But you basically put the code here, you hit enter, and Claude Code is installed in just a couple of seconds. So you see it here, Claude Code is installed, and you can start Claude with a Claude command. So this is the way you can basically use Claude. You can use modals here, so you can switch the modals. So I have Opus now, you can have Fable. They just enabled it again, Sonnet, Haiku, and so on. So, but this is not what we want. So this is plain vanilla Claude. And what we want is to configure different providers. So actually what you do is you just need to do a configuration of two small files inside your shell settings. Yeah. So Mac is using as default the Z shell. So basically you just copy this command here. You go to your terminal again, and you just enter nano and then this Z shell RC, and then it opens the configuration file. So it's already pre-filled here for me, so I already have configured, and what you will see is probably an empty file. Yeah, but basically you need to enter here this small config, that it takes the API keys from the secrets file. We will configure it in a moment, in the next step. And then you can have your configurations for DeepSeek, for GLM, for Kimi, or also Quen, for example. Yeah. But today we are going with DeepSeek. So you can actually leave it like it is. So what it configures here is basically saying that if I put the command DeepSeek, so not Claude in the terminal, but DeepSeek, it starts Claude with the following settings. So it takes the DeepSeek API key, we will configure it in a moment, and then it says that the model is DeepSeek v4 Pro, the Opus is v4 Pro, Sonnet is v4 Pro, and Haiku is v4 Flash, and use v4 Flash for sub-agents. So at the moment it's DeepSeek v4, but if they release any new models, you will need to adjust this one here, basically saying what is Opus, what is Sonnet, what is Haiku, and you can also wire the Fable model. What I'm basically doing is for Sonnet and Opus, I'm wiring it to DeepSeek v4 Pro at the moment, and the sub-agent is using v4 Flash. This way the tokens that are consumed are not as high if you are only using v4 Pro. But in general, the cost is just a fraction of what it is with Claude itself. So price value, I would say DeepSeek wins here, but yeah, you will need to see for yourself. Another thing, a very dangerous and very important thing that I configured here is this additional settings for the Claude startup. So I have it enabled with dangerously skip permissions, because I want on this machine that DeepSeek or another AI works basically as autonomous as possible. So I let it skip permissions, but be careful with that and do not have it on the production machine where you have your private data or production data from your work, for example. Yeah, so you can also delete this config here and just let Claude start normally, so that you can switch the different permission modes inside the Claude client later on. But I wanted to have configured right away, so that's why I configured it here. But yeah, your own risk. But basically you just copy this all into this file, and then you just hit Control X, and it exits and it saves the file. I didn't change the file, so it will probably prompt you to say yes and no to save the file or not. And then as a second step, you need to configure your API key. So basically what you do is the same. You go to your terminal and you put into nano secrets. And here you can configure your DeepSeek API key. I just blurred it here for you. You can configure your z.ai key, Kimi key, and also open router or whatever. So it just needs to be Entropic compatible, but every provider will work. So today we just do it with DeepSeek. Where you get this API key is from the DeepSeek platform here. So you need to top it up with some money. So I topped it up. I think, yeah, I have $33 now on my account. And here you can create new API key. You can name it, and then you will be shown the key once, and you need to copy it somewhere, and basically copy it also inside the config file. So after you have copied it, you can exit again, Control X. It will ask you to save or not to save. And then the last thing you need to configure is to do the following. You set the permissions for the secrets key that only you can read it. And it's the same here, chmod 600 secrets. So that's all actually. You have configured your DeepSeek inside Claude. So now we can just enter here DeepSeek. And you see here, it uses the DeepSeek V4 Pro with max effort. And it will give you also a short warning here. You can ignore it. It's just Claude code saying that, yeah, something is wrong with the API keys, blah, blah, blah. But it's because we set the DeepSeek as default here. And you can see the modals here. And you see that we have the DeepSeek modals here. Basically, I have not wired the Fable model, so that's why it's still showing Fable here. But I need to wire it to the V4 Pro as well. And you can just do it in the settings, as I've shown. So let's do it together. Because they just released Fable today. That's why I did not adjust it. So let's do it. So we do nano, set the rage. So, and we just need to add a new line here. Export Entropic 1T default Fable modal equals DeepSeek V4 Pro. So here are the brackets. 1 million context size. I have a German keyboard, and with the brackets it's really a pain. But yeah. So this is how you do it. If you need to adjust the modal, and if they rename it, then you just put it here as well. So we just exit the config file, and it actually now asks you to save or not, and we say save. So after you have redone the config, you need to open a new terminal or to reload it in order the settings to take effect. So I just opened a new one, and I put here DeepSeek, and now we can check the modals. Now you see that the Fable is V4 Pro, Opus is V4 Pro, Sonnet is V4 Pro, Haiku is Flash, and so on. So this is the way you basically configure Claude, and now you can, you can code with it. You can do whatever you want. I don't know. For example, do a weather prediction app. Yeah, and now it actually uses DeepSeek instead of Claude, and you're just using cents and not thousands of bucks. Yeah, basically that's all. Now it continues to work, and I hope it was helpful for you a bit. And yeah, as always, we do also some workshops here in Zurich for this topic, and you can visit codecook.ch in order to contact me, or if you have any questions, just put them in the comments. Cheerio and bye bye.